I'm Sharon Valverde Vargas. Coming up, we will explore how local students embrace the Latin Festival in our state's capital city.
And I'm Kai Nunez. And how did the Wildcats hockey team fare on the ice sheet in their season opener?
And I'm Landon Griffith. What brings Weber State University students together more than creating tie-dye shirts? All this and more on this edition of Weber State News.
With Hispanic Heritage Month happening, Salt Lake City held a Latin festival hosted by the Latino Arts Foundation at the Vincent Almer Event Center. The festival included 2 days of celebration with vibrant dances, wonderful diversity, colorful costumes, and a variety of Latin cuisine. The first 1,000 people to attend received a free taco. The festival had a live Latin music by local, regional, and national bands. People had some opportunity to listen to some of the local talent while celebrating Hispanic heritage.
Well, I like this place, and I get to introduce so many culture over here. And this place is really good. There is a lot of I tried the food, and I almost buy shirts and clothes that's related to Latin.
When the sun goes down, the festival dance floor played merengue, bachata, and Latin music for families to enjoy. Hispanic Heritage Month is more important for the Latin community, and this festival helped bring a diverse group of people together.
President Donald Trump has talked about sending astronauts back to the moon. More Americans are thinking about the possibilities of future space exploration. Reporter Francisco Reese attended a Weber State presentation about the physics of making lunar exploration a possibility, and he has the story.
Dr. Brad Carroll, Professor Emeritus of Physics, presented to Weber State students about the difficulties and mathematics involved in joining 2 spacecraft in orbit.
But it scared people to death. I mean, scarcely orbited, anybody at that time. No rendezvous had ever been attempted. If you rendezvous in Earth orbit and you mess up, the worst that can happen is that you come back down to Earth. If you have to rendezvous at the moon and you miss, what happens? The astronauts are lost.
Carroll passionately described the physics calculations that NASA scientists had to make in order to ensure that the astronauts could successfully reunite in lunar orbit. Carroll grabbed this data from the calculations from the actual mission.
Now it's 50 years later, and talking about going back to the moon again. They're going to use the same, if there's a landing to be had, they're going to use the same techniques.
Carroll hopes that presentations like this and the history behind the space race will inspire a new, diverse, and dedicated generation of scientists. For Studio 76, I'm Francisco Ruiz.
Francisco, sign me up for the next lunar mission. It's not about sensitive feelings, it's about respect. This is the motto of Weber State Center for Diversity and University's Stop the Hate program, which kicked off on September 17th with a session titled, "Dude, what's your problem?" The discussion focused on gendered language in today's world and the damage it can cause to people who don't fall under implied gender norms. Weber State senior Kay Walker was the primary speaker for the session. As a self-identified non-binary, their goal was simple: to educate others about the power of pronouns.
Basically every day I'm affected by gendered language and people referring to me by gendered language that I don't want to be referred to by. And I have a vested interest in ensuring that I'm not referred to by these terms and that other non-binary people and even cis people and binary trans people are also not referred to by these terms.
Walker will return October 8th for another Stop the Hate session focused on sex workers. The discussion will be held in the Shepherd Union Building, 232 at 1:30 p.m.
Waldo and the Weber State Spirit Squad played a huge part in Weber State Spirit. In addition to keeping Wildcats enthusiastic, Weber State's cheer teams and mascot have won multiple national titles at college nationals. Waldo and the Spirit Squad won their third consecutive title this past April at the National Cheerleaders Association competition in Daytona Beach, Florida. In order to keep up their success, the Spirit Squad practices year-round to represent Weber State well at nationals.
During the year, the preparation is just thinking and preparing what they're going to do out for nationals during their skit. And that takes a lot of behind-the-scenes work, building props, coming up with ideas, music, and it actually is a lot of work to prepare for that one big moment out at nationals.
You wouldn't know, but currently 2 individuals suit up as Waldo. They split their duties so you see only one Waldo at a time. You can see Waldo and the Spirit Squad at all athletic events. Come to the homecoming game as the Wildcats take on the Thunderbirds from Southern Utah University on October 12th at 6 p.m. at Stewart Stadium. You can follow the Weber State Spirit Squad on social media.
The honors program at Weber State University hosted its Food for Thought lecture series, discussing the topic of imposter syndrome. It's the feelings of self-doubt students and others have, despite their repeated and noticeable successes. For many students, imposter syndrome makes them believe that they're not good enough, that they're not perfect. They don't have the confidence or ability to take the lead as a soloist or an expert in a field of study. Child and Family Studies professor Juan Carlos Esteban told students how he succumbs to worries of not being knowledgeable enough. He fears he will never have enough understanding of a topic. He thinks that if he's exposed as inexperienced or unknowledgeable in his field, it will undermine his qualifications and his authority.
The one I struggle with the most is the expert. Most of my teachers would just say, just get through high school, just get through high school, that's all you need. College is not for you. College is, I never did any prep for SATs, never tried any when I was in high school because I was never encouraged and I never believed that I could.
The honors program continues to host its Food for Thought lecture series to discuss uncomfortable topics in order to allow students to open up with similar feelings about subject matter that usually doesn't get discussed.
The Weber State hockey team took the ice for the first time this season in a loss to their rival, the Utah State University Aggies, on September 20th. It's a new season with new Wildcat faces who are waiting to make their debut at the ice sheet. Students and fans came with pride and energy to help their teams win.
Let's see, we've got 15 new players, and I thought they came out and they played well. A couple things we got to clean up that made the difference in the game, but I love the effort, I love the energy, I love everything they did. Clean up a couple things and we win that game.
Good team effort for the new group so far. Obviously it didn't go as we wanted it to go, but other than that, I'm pretty happy to see our progress. Most of the guys that we got a couple other guys we might try putting in the lineup, which might change some things too, so we'll see. But just a couple obvious breakdowns we'll have to fix for next time.
The Wildcats won their second game of the season the next evening as they took down another in-state rival in BYU. Weber State will return home on October 11th to host the University of Providence at 7:30 at the ice sheet. Though it's still early in the season and there are plenty of games to watch, fans are sure to keep on bringing the energy and passion to show support for their team. And with the football team on its bye week, Weber State's rugby team took to the pitch for a physical game against Colorado Mesa. The Mavericks, traveling from Grand Junction, scored often and early, jumping to a 15-7 lead. After the halftime break, the Wildcats came out strong, with their defense holding the Mavericks scoreless for a second half. With just a few minutes left on the clock, the Wildcats neared the goal line, and after pushing and shoving from both sides, Weber finally got the ball past the goal line and made the conversion to take the lead. The Wildcats were able to hang on for their lead for the first win of their season, defeating the Mavericks by a score of 17-15.
The biggest part was the defense, and I will also say that another biggest part was our forwards on having to pound the ball in the red areas, red zone areas.
Against Idaho State. The Wildcats' next home game takes place on October 12th at the Weber State Rugby Field against Idaho State.
Pumpkins, hay rides, corn mazes, and cows, these were all part of the Weber State University Alumni Association's Fall Fest event. The event was held at the Green Acres Dairy. Both children and adults navigated through the corn mazes, picked pumpkins, and went on hay rides.
The Alumni Association puts on various activities through the year, and this is a tradition for the past couple of years, going to some of the various agricultural activities.
The Alumni Association is dedicated to fostering lasting ties within the Weber State community. Council members do this by hosting events where both alumni and students are welcome. Anyone who has taken 6 credit hours at Weber State is considered an alum. So students who want to become due-paying members can go to alumni, weberstate.com, for Weber State sponsored benefits. It's not hard to find something fun and interesting to do at the Weber State, especially for students who take advantage of living on campus. Reporter Kirsten King spent some time at one of many housing events sponsored on campus.
The event was put on by the resident assistants here at University Village. Students learned how to tie-dye t-shirts or bring an item of their own to tie-dye.
So I'm a resident assistant, so that means my job is to be this community leader within the residence halls. So one way to do that is just kind of like overall increase our community engagements by throwing on events like this. We would like to have like music bop in and bring out an event that kind of brings everyone together. That's the best way people get to know each other, is through like small activities like this. Tie is just a kind of a fun thing, you know? I mean, if you don't know it, it's really easy to pick up. If you do know it, you're gonna bring something home from you.
Never done it, never seen videos, nothing.
The Weber State housing community will continue to put on events for students every few months throughout the fall semester to bring the students and the community together. Kirsten King, Studio 76, Weber State University.
Well, there you have it. As a bonus to having a great Wildcat weekend, the 6th-ranked Weber State University football team took down 7th-ranked Northern Iowa 29-17 at Stewart Stadium on Saturday. That will do it for our coverage tonight. Be sure to stay tuned to Weber State's news for updates on campus events as we head deeper into the fall. Good night.